This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Stick Tamer Bow Silencers. Are you a traditional archery hunter or shooter? Stick Tamer was specifically designed for the recurve shooter. Made of a hybrid foam rubber material, Stick Tamer is designed to deaden string slap and limb vibration. Stick Tamer reduces limb and string noise, water resistant, and lasts shot after shot. Made in the USA from a hybrid foam rubber for durability. To purchase Stick Tamer and for more information, visit 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. Stick Tamer bow silencers are available exclusively at 3riversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. Good Lord. Are we going to have any more issues tonight? I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. It's been crazy.
You know, I told Will, I was like, we got Will Dieffenbauch on here with us tonight, participant in the Bassmaster Classic this year, and I was like, man, I apologize. I said, we really do have our stuff together here. We've been doing this for 8 months, but this is the worst technical difficulties that we have had. I mean, since we've been doing
this. In a long time.
Yeah, in a long time. I mean,
we've had some issues tonight.
I feel like it's our first time again. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. So we tried to do our video tonight from our camera, and our live feed is gone, I guess, because I don't see it over there now. So
what's going on?
Is it still on?
No, it's off. It says ended.
Well, I guess it just ended by itself.
Huh.
Oh,
well,
weird.
It was a good time.
Well,
good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good podcast.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight.
All right.
You didn't get to talk much, Will.
Yeah. Anyways, so turkey season's over.
Who's Will? We haven't introduced him yet.
Shh, be quiet, Dan.
It's a surprise.
So turkey season's over. We're switching over to fishing. That's why we got Will Dieffenbauch on here with us this evening. So we'll introduce him here in a second. You know, Will is from right here in West Virginia, from 100, West Virginia. Yeah. Will was a contestant this year in the Bassmaster Classic in Fort Loudon, Tellico Lake. Is that how you say it?
Yep, Tellico Lake. Yep.
And we got his name right, so we got that going for us.
Yeah.
And before that, he's competed in a bunch of nationals with the Bassmaster Classic and the Bassmaster Nation. And he was in the MLF Major League Fishing Tour, so he was doing that before. And awesome. I'm sporting my Major League Fishing True Timber shirt tonight. So.
It will be stolen this evening, and I will not say by who.
All righty. So without further ado, Will Dieffenbauch, how you doing this evening, sir?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Man, I tell you, you're a really patient guy.
Super patient. Most people would have hung up on us long ago.
That's right.
No, we sure appreciate you. Like I said, coming in, this is the worst technical difficulties that we've had since we started this thing.
Yeah, even day one.
Even day one, we did better than this. Mm-hmm. I guess it's just where we're trying to incorporate the video and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we've got 100 wires here on our table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we've got more over with the computer and the camera and all that stuff. So,
if anything can go wrong, it's going to go wrong with me on here.
But you talking about patience, Michael. He does fish, so you got to have a little bit of that patience.
You are very correct with that, Dan.
Yeah.
So just start off and tell us a little bit about yourself, Will.
Well, I mean, I grew up here in West Virginia. I fished my whole life. I went through all the youth programs and just kept working my way up the ladder. I did the casting kids back in the day when it was a thing. Did the juniors. Started a club in college. Did that and did well. Moved on up into fished the Toyota Series with MLF and the Bass Nation here in West Virginia, and kept on going and made it all the way to the Classic this year. So we're trying to make it a career, but we're not there yet. So I work as a engineer at Dieffenbauch and Ritz Engineering in Morgantown. So still got a day job, still work and fish on the side.
That's what I was.
So-
That's another thing that we were talking about today during lunch. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dan.
You're good.
He mentioned that name, and Steve, the guy we work with, was talking about that. He used to work for that company, Steve Chapman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's on the same aspect. Is that a family
My
business?
my uncle is one of the owners.
Okay. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, I kind of figured that with the name. There's
Yeah.
not very many of those around, I would say.
Yeah, I assumed it had to be, but hey, I've seen crazier things happen. Nope, not even related to the guy. It's just the same name, and I work for him.
Yeah, I could have messed with you guys about that.
We'd have been fine.
Dan, go ahead with some of the talking points. I'm going to try to get this video
Yeah.
back up.
Yeah, no, not a problem. So, talking about your career starting out and all that. So last year you ended up finishing sixth place in the MLF Toyota Series event that was held on the Potomac River.
Yeah. The Potomac River just fits me for some reason. I don't know. I just seem to do well over there. But,
Hey,
I've made a couple top tens in that.
Oh wow, I'm
Awesome.
heading up there. Hold on a second, Dan. I'm heading up there in a couple weeks to do a kayak fishing trip on the Potomac, and I've never fished the Potomac before.
Were you launching out of Smallwood?
Let's see. It's somewhere near the Trough, I think. Have you ever heard of a place called the Trough up there?
I have no idea.
Man,
Is it?
okay.
Are you in the tidal Potomac or?
It's the let's see. I'm trying to think of the fork and branch. It's the North Fork of the South Branch. Am I right on that?
Nah. Nah. So I always fish the tidal water just south of DC.
Oh, okay. Well, this is like northeastern West Virginia.
Okay.
Anyway,
Now,
yeah.
Was that Maryland, Virginia?
All right. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead, man. I just thought that was crazy.
No, you're good. So, speaking on that same aspect, so that event is that happens more in the Maryland side of things than the West Virginia part of the Potomac.
Yeah, they always they'll launch us out of on the Maryland side, right below DC, and
Okay.
it's all tidal water.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's all. So, talking about the sixth place finish in that, not only that, but you finished sixth place in the Bass Nation, the Southeast Regional, which was held on Lewis Smith Lake in Alabama.
Yeah, that was my first year fishing on the state team and going to that regional championship. It was a fun one. We had a lot of good guys on our team, and we ended up as a team. We won overall for the region, so we pretty well dominated down there. I don't know why that lake fit us so well, but everybody caught them.
Nice. Now, speaking on that, between the Potomac and the Lewis Smith Lake, what do you find better? Is it easier in the south or more north fishing?
I'd rather fish south, but
yeah,
that's just me. But for whatever reason, that Potomac, I don't know what it is. If it's just the grass or what. The Potomac just fits me. But I fished a lot up in like New York and stuff for the Toyota Series for smallmouths and everything. I still like the south better.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people travel to Florida for those big bass down there.
Yeah.
What parts of New York? Because when I was in the military, I was stationed in New York, so I've fished quite a few places in New York.
I've had to fish Champlain a lot, St. Lawrence River out of we've launched out of Messina and Clayton, and I think we're launching out of Waddington this year. We fished Erie, out of Buffalo and Oneida. A lot of different lakes. Yeah.
Have you fished the Chautauqua Lake at all up there?
Have not been to Chautauqua yet.
Okay, that's not a bad little place. Which I fished that when I was young. But
yeah,
when I stationed up there, we did a lot like Ontario and all that stuff. Which I wasn't really into the whole bass fishing. I like the steelhead, the lakes, and the salmon runs.
Yeah.
So obviously different aspect of fishing there, but yeah, there's a lot of great lakes in New York, but still though, it seems like a lot of the people enjoy the southern bass fishing more than the northern bass fishing.
Yeah, I'd rather fish for largemouths. They're more consistent.
Hey, Will, what's your favorite lake in West Virginia to fish?
Stonewall.
Stonewall? Okay,
yeah.
Man, I've heard that. I've never been able to make it up there since I've started fishing. But
yeah, it's got some big ones in it.
Nice. So you was talking about fishing all the way through high school and college. and starting fishing programs is what you said?
Yeah, I started the college fishing had just got going whenever I got into college, and I went to Fairmont State, and they didn't have a fishing team or anything yet, and it was like pulling teeth to get it started because they didn't really know about tournament fishing or anything about it, and we got it started, and the first tournament we went out and won it, and they're like, "Oh, you guys made money," so it's like a real thing.
Sure.
And we did pretty well. We ended up while I was there, we won 2 qualifiers. We won one on Potomac, one on Champlain, and then we won a regional championship at Philpott Lake in Virginia, and went to national championship like 3 out of the 4 years I was there. And
Yeah.
after I graduated, there was some of my buddies that were still in school. They kept the club going, and they had some wins there too. So I wish that program was still there, but it seemed like after they graduated, it just kind of died off.
All right, catch me back up. Where are we at on the talking points, Dan?
Getting ready to talk about his most notable year,
Oh, okay.
which was last year. Yeah, when he fished in the Bass National Championship on Pickwick Lake, and he actually led that tournament for the first 2 days. Talking on leading it for the first 2 days, how did you end up finishing it though? Is the question.
Yeah, I ended up finishing second. It was bittersweet because
Sure.
I was pretty sure I was going to win the thing. I'd let my fish rest the first 2 days after I caught what I needed, and went out that last day, and there's a small little club tournament that took off before us. I went up to my first spot, and there was a boat on it, and he wasn't moving. So I started to run down to my main area and melted the hub on my prop, which was already my backup prop because I already spun one in practice. So it's on my second prop for the tournament. I didn't have a third in the boat. And then luckily, Chase Sampson was cameraman for Bass. It was his first tournament being a cameraman for Bassmasters, and he's from West Virginia. And he grabbed another prop and ran it out to me. But, it just took so much time. The bite window was small. It was like rainy and cloudy and perfect conditions that morning. And by the time they got it out to me, I had about 45 minutes of that prime window to fish. And I just threw the prop on, went to my main area. I caught 3 pretty quick, but then it just got real slow. Got sunny and slick calm and could not get another bite.
So you were in third place going into the final day, correct?
No, I was in first.
No, he was.
You was in first place. Okay.
Yeah, I had about a 3-pound lead on second and like a 6-pound lead on third.
Oh, okay. That's what. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
That happened when we was. What show was we at?
That's what I was just getting ready to say. I believe we were at the Morgantown show.
The Morgantown or the Summersville? I can't remember.
I think it was the Morgantown show.
Yeah, because I remember Bugsy talking about the prop situation.
Yeah, he was, because we kept trying to get an update from him on how you was doing.
Yeah. Yes, it was pretty frustrating, but
But I mean, really though, for all the issues that you had that day, you still finishing second's awesome.
Yeah, it was good, but there's a big difference between qualifying for the Elite Series and qualifying for the Opens.
Yeah. So instead of qualifying for the Elite Series, you got all your different Bassmaster Opens, the 9 of those paid for, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I still got to go to the Classic.
Yeah.
So.
And you still got to go to you got your first, that's your first berth into the Bassmaster Classic, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on that. I mean, that just getting there is awesome. You know what I mean?
That's great. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's a goal of everybody that fishes. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, especially at that level of things.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yep.
But
definitely. Yeah. So what do you have? Do you have plans right now? Still, hot and heavy into the season. You got a bunch of different places you're going to.
Yeah, we've got 5 more of the open EQs to fish. I'm going to Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma. I'm leaving Thursday, and practice will start on Saturday. Then we have the St. Lawrence River in New York, Watts Bar Lake in Tennessee, Lake of the Ozarks, and Harris Chain down in Florida. So still a lot to do this year.
Nice. That's awesome. So it sounds like you're going to stay pretty busy then.
Oh, yeah. Got to try to get back to the Classic again.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing we like to do on every podcast here is our salute to valor. So our salute to valor tonight is going to go out to Larry A. Drawn Jr. from Dayton, Ohio. He's in the United States Marine Corps. He was a corporal where he served 5 years. His Marine base was in Hawaii. Yeah, I'm not even attempting that name. Nope, not trying it. He did two tours of duty to Iraq. No, sorry, he did 2 tours of duty overseas. He did one to Iraq and then one to Afghanistan, where he was awarded the Purple Heart, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals with a V device, and he retired in 2011. So, Larry, we'd like to thank you for your service, and we appreciate everything you did in both your tours, and I'm glad that all you got was the Purple Heart. Granted, it's a prestigious award to receive. You have been injured in some aspect of it, so it could have been worse. So we are proud to have you still here, and we thank you, sir.
Yep, definitely. Thank you for your service, Larry, and thank you for those injuries that you endured. I mean, we don't want that to happen, but we know that you go into that knowing that that's a possibility. And the bravery that you have just going into that, we appreciate that, and that's what America's all about.
Yeah, it's like we've talked before, Michael. It's that blank check that you sign, and you don't know if you're going to cash it or get it back before you get out.
Yeah, for sure.
It is the absolute ultimate sacrifice to be in, not knowing what could come.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely. All right, get back to fishing. So. You don't have to give your secrets away, but we'd like to know what kind of gear you use.
All right.
I'm not taking notes, I promise.
What all gear you want to know about? I use I got Dobbins rods. I've been with them since college.
Awesome.
So what's your favorite Dobbins? What's your favorite Dobbins that you use?
If you're going to buy one, if you're just going to pick one out, pick Fury. Whatever model is in your price range and get a 734 casting rod.
Okay.
That 7'3", 4-power will cover almost everything in your tackle box.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
That's good to know.
A fantastic rod.
I'm looking at that Fury. I want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the 734.
734. All right. I remember that.
Now, where are these based? Where's this company based out of?
They were originally out of California. Gary Dobbins was the owner, and he's well known in California. I think he's one of the most winning anglers ever out west. And then they moved their facility to Texas now, so they're out of Texas. They got tired of all the California stuff and moved to Texas.
Yeah. All the regulations.
I mean, who wouldn't get tired of that?
Yeah.
So, jeez.
But it's a family company, good people.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what's great is, obviously, like we were just talking, Dave has heard of Dobbins. They was a California-based company, but here's a guy in West Virginia that's heard of them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how I heard about them too. I watch this podcast from out of Clear Lake, which is Northern California. Matt, gosh, man, the name's escaping me right now.
You should have been prepared, Dave.
Oh man, I should have been more prepared. Anyway, they really promote Dobbins rods. They use a lot of like Shimano and stuff like that. But they really talk highly of Dobbins rods.
If I had internet service, I'd look it up for you. We've lost connection.
Shoot, well, I'll look it up while y'all are talking, and then I'll mention it here.
We've lost connection to the interwebs. Is something going on outside that we don't know about?
As soon as I say it, you'll probably know what it is, I'm sure.
I mean, are we having a national disaster right now that we're not aware of? Because we've never had this many problems.
Totally.
Good Lord.
It's bad.
I don't know if I'd want to fish with you, Will.
Yeah.
Not right now until we get our crap straightened out.
Huh? Yeah. You were talking about it being out of whack because you was on here. I don't know. Yeah. I think I'd stay on the dock.
Yeah.
There it is. Tactical.
It'll go wrong with me.
Come on. I'm just giving you heck.
On the gear aspect of things, do you prefer a bait caster or an open face?
It just depends on what I'm doing. You go up north for smallmouth, you have to have a spinning rod.
Right.
But, if I can get away with a bait caster fishing down south or for largemouth or whatever, I'm going to do it.
What do you feel more comfortable with? Might be a question there.
Probably a bait caster. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm good with both of them, but yeah, I mean, a bait caster just feels like an extension of your arm.
See, I'm not that good with one yet. I'm still learning the bait caster. I still get a little bit of the
Love my bait caster.
the
Love
nest.
it.
Yeah.
Love it. It's so much fun.
Yep.
It almost like it made it more fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's crazy, but
We were out fishing the other day at Anderson Lake here in West Virginia. It's just,
it's just small.
small lake,
Yeah.
couple miles away.
Super
from
hard to
us.
catch fish in because it's so pressured.
And Dave's using his bait caster, and I'm like, man, you using that bait caster out here? He's like, and he's using it really well. And I'm like, yeah, I use mine on the boat the best, but I've stopped using it because it pisses me off so much. I'm like, I go fishing to get away from stress.
Yeah, the thing that turned the tide for me was when I figured out how to get a bird's nest out of it quickly and on the fly. Mm-hmm. Once I figured that out, because there's a certain thing you do. It's a trick that you can do to get rid of it. You got to crank your drag down really hard.
Yeah.
Stick your thumb on that spool as hard as you can and reel against it.
Yeah.
And then you can pull your line out.
Wow.
It works. And so once I did that, then I was able to, get those bird nests out quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And I was able to learn a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying?
That takes a lot of frustration out of it.
Yeah.
And of course, there's some tricks to it.
Yeah.
Like you want to set your drag and things like that, and you want to set your tension.
Mm-hmm. Well, starting out I did, but now I'm like free spooling.
You want to let your bait just barely drop, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're just starting out,
yes,
but
absolutely.
I'm sure wheels will hit the ground like.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee you could probably flip it all the way across Anderson.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But that podcast I was talking about, it's called Tactical Bass, and it's Matt Allen. I don't know if you've ever heard.
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. Yeah, okay. Those guys talk very highly of Dobbins rods. Anyway,
Good.
I watch those guys a lot. They're good guys.
We'll have to mention them on here, and maybe they'll hit up Will and have him on their podcast.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
think
it's
they moved to Tennessee, I think.
Did they?
I think so.
Oh, cool.
Huh.
They're even closer.
There you go.
I'll put that in the notes.
I know they started
So,
fishing a lot of northern smallies around here, so.
I think Dan wants to say something. We can let him talk a little bit.
All right, let's go.
do you like a stiffer rod?
What's that?
A medium weight or a stiff weight rod?
I mean, all the Dobbins are in like a number of powers. So like a 4 power is sort of like a medium heavy-ish, closer to, but like a 3 power I'd call a medium. But that 4 power is real versatile.
That's like the all-round right there then.
Yeah, it's sort of like a medium heavy, almost a medium, like sort of in between them. It's just a perfect bend to it.
Nice. Okay.
So what about your reels that you like?
I've got all kinds of different reels. I started using the Dobbins reels now too, because they just came out this past year.
I was gonna say I didn't even know they made reels.
Yeah, they just came out this past year. They're an affordable reel, like a $99 reel, nothing crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they're pretty solid. But I've still got some dials that I use. I've got Lew's. I've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, I use a Lew's. Actually, the Mach 3 is what got me into bait casting.
Yeah, Lew's has gotten really big in the past 10 years.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
It used to be like Shimano and different things like that. Shimano used to be big. I'm saying they probably still are, but
Yeah. It's just that they're not as affordable. I mean,
No.
and some of their stuff is, but man, you can spend $500 on a Shimano reel, and it's like, geez, man. I mean, and it's good stuff, like you say.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lew's, I got my whole rig for $150, the pole and the reel, and I've never had an issue out of it. So,
Well, I'm an open face, real guy. I do the bait casters. I do those when I'm on the boat because you have more room, to cast and different things like that. I can't flip them like some people do, like when you're jigging or something. I can't do that, but I've just gotten used to the old open face spin reels. That's what I like.
yeah.
Yep.
When you have to have them nowadays. You have to have a spinning reel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
hey, man, it works.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Look-
preference on your spinning reels? Like a Fluger or a Penn or a
I've got a bunch of Daiwas right now, but I'm going to try the Dobbins soon. I haven't tried the Dobbins spinning reels yet, but I like the Daiwas. They're
Sure.
so I don't get the expensive ones. I just get the cheap $70, $80 Daiwa spinning reels.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you're going to spend your money, spend it on the rod. Don't spend it on the reel.
Yeah,
That's true.
what
Yeah.
I've heard.
I've been
True.
on the Fluger kick. I've really enjoyed the Fluger
I
reel.
love a Fluger
Yeah.
Presidente, man, or
Yeah.
President, or
No,
whatever it is.
I like the Fluger Presidente.
Yeah.
I like the Flugers too. I trout
Yeah.
fish with Fluger. I had one a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Right now, I have I think it's called 1-3 fishing, but it looks like 13 fishing.
Mhm.
I'm not exactly sure if it's 1-3 or 13. Anyway, but I've got one of those reels, and I found it on clearance on a website. Went to Dick's, and they price matched it for me.
Hey,
So it works great.
check this out. So I'm at Royal King, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at I'm just wanting a rod, and I told this girl, I'm like, I love this rod. And the reel on it was broke. It didn't have a handle. And I couldn't find a handle nowhere, It was already marked down. It was on sale. And it was a Daiwa Black Max.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've
And,
seen them.
and I loved it. I loved the rod. I loved the way it felt, And I told her, I said, I'm just wanting this for the rod. I said, can you discount it anymore? She was like, yeah. She was like, sure. I'll sell it to you $10. I said, $10? Sold. I felt like I was at the flea market.
Put a tag
wheeling
on
and
that
dealing.
thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
That's right.
But you never know until you ask, right?
That's right.
I
That's right.
thought, I'm going to ask her and see what she says, because I asked for a manager, and she come back there and looked at it. There was no other rod back there like it. That was the only one they had.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
you know what I done?
Huh.
When I got the rod and the reel, I sent a repair request in to Daiwa, and they sent me the handle with the screw. So I use the reel and the rod now, and I've got $17 in the whole outfit.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a deal.
I couldn't believe it.
Man, I tell you, I had that Fluger Presidente, and one day I was going down the road, and I kept it in my car because I'd fish on my lunch. Rolled the window down, and I wasn't paying attention. Apparently, the rod tip had fallen down out the window.
Ooh.
So I rolled the window up and broke the rod tip off.
Man, I tell you, I don't know how many rods I've had that's gotten caught in the tailgate of a truck or in the door
There's
of
such
the
a
truck.
sinking feeling.
There is, yeah.
like I caught more bass on that pole than any other pole in my life,
Yeah.
and it's like broke.
Well, I had another, I think it was a 7.5 or an 8-foot Shimano rod with a Shimano reel, and almost the same thing happened. It was in the back of I had a canyon at the time, and it was in the back of the canyon, and the kids got in, and they closed the door right on the end of the rod.
Broke.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
about cried.
You want to come on? Well, maybe this will help us.
What
Mike.
was Dan saying there in the background?
I think Dan.
I remember that truck.
Oh, that's all you said?
Maybe.
I was like, surely he said something else.
Yeah,
Well,
surely.
Mike, maybe this will help you with your frustration.
Being at the right place at the right time, I got a better deal on my rod. He's jealous.
All right. So another thing we like to do on the episodes is a verse of the day, and this is going to help Mike today because it's going to give him a positive outlook
On how,
even when he breaks a rod.
or on how many technical difficulties we've had this evening.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
That's right. Oh man. Will is so patient. We should really talk about his patience again because, man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He has the patience of Job.
The patience of Job. Absolutely. I mean, all right. Think about this. Think about a man that loses one prop, uses his backup prop, loses that sucker too, and this man still makes second place. He's got to be a positive man
He is.
to just push through and make that.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So this is Psalm 1:1. And if you guys will bear with me, I'm going to read just 3 verses real quick. So Psalm 1:1 through 3. Blessed is the person who does not follow the advice of wicked people, take the path of sinners, or join the company of mockers. Rather, he delights in the teaching of the Lord and reflects on his teachings. He is like a tree planted beside streams, a tree that produces fruit in season and whose leaves do not wither. He succeeds in everything that he does.
Man, that's awesome.
Isn't that cool? That
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
that tree planted by the stream thing. I was like, I can see that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. See it flourishing.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I think the more that we can put him first in the things that we do, the more we will succeed in the things that we do because he's involved.
Just think about the things that go along with that verse. A tree planted beside the stream. Just look what a stream goes through.
Yeah.
I mean, it floods.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look at all the stuff that comes up against that tree
Mm-hmm.
to bring the roots up out of it.
Dries up too, though.
Yeah, and it does dry up.
Yeah.
So if it dries up, it could kill it because it ain't got the water it needs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just nuts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always try to look on the positive side. I mean, I know we've had a lot of technical issues tonight, but, man, it's just a blessing that we get to sit here and do this and talk to the people that we do. And, Will, we appreciate you for coming on this evening, and it's been an awesome time. So
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun meeting these people we get to talk to.
Yep.
And they're all isn't it amazing just how they are they're all doers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're not sitting on the couchers that like saying, well, maybe tomorrow I'll go do something with my or I'll go do this or that. It's like it's so encouraging and inspiring to talk to these people because they're doing the thing that they're dreaming of doing.
Oh yeah, I mean we've been blessed to have a lot of successful people on this podcast. In the last 8 months.
Yes,
and Will's one of those.
Absolutely. It's great.
I mean, being from good old by God West Virginia.
Yeah, West by God Virginia.
been in the Bassmaster Classic, man. I mean, that was awesome. I watched that video of you driving in on the truck in your boat and holding up your fish there. I watched that video like 7 or 8 times. I just kept watching it because I like the intro music when they come in. And they even kept you up there and talked to you for a little bit on stage. I was like, man, this is awesome. This is our state right there.
That's so cool, man.
He's representing us on the national stage.
That's cool.
It's a pretty surreal moment when you get up there.
Yeah. So
Gosh,
so was you nervous? I mean, what was that like? Just put us in that moment.
It was funny because everybody told me going into the tournament like how busy we were going to be, how much stuff's going on and everything, and I was pretty relaxed through everything. So it's like a week and a half long event of everything going on.
Good Lord.
With practice and media day and all kinds of different meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was pretty relaxed through it all. And, nobody really knew who I was really, so I didn't have to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, I got plenty of time to do everything. And,
yeah.
But then that first day weighing in, once you get up on that stage, then it really hits you. It's just like, this is what I've been dreaming of since I was 7 years old. It was something else. Just a rush of emotions.
So is it just you and the camera guy on the boat, or do you have anybody else with you?
For the Classic, you have an observer, like a marshal, just keep an eye on everything. But all they can do is sit there and they'll update Bass Track with your weight of each fish you catch. Like day one, I had a high school kid that somehow won this trip. They had like some kind of drawing or something. I don't know what they did. But I had a high school kid from a local high school there. He was my marshal on day one. It was funny because he was so excited that he was going to get the marshal in the Classic that he didn't sleep the night before.
Oh gosh.
So then like all day long he was passed out in the passenger.
Oh man. Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Either that was lack of sleep or he was partying the night before.
Oh yeah, that's true. Could have been, yeah.
You can't blame him though, man.
No.
I mean, that's an awesome thing.
Absolutely. All right, so I got another question for you. What's your favorite rig to throw?
Oh, if I can get him to eat a frog, I'm going to throw a frog.
Dude, that's me. I always try a frog first.
Yeah.
I love that topwater hit. It's like boom.
Man, I like a frog, but it's almost like that's real slow fishing to me.
Yeah.
No.
I once I learned how to walk it, there's a way you can walk it where it looks back and forth.
Okay.
Man, when I learned that, it was like, man, this is cool. But it's hard to do from the bank.
I've got the little rubber one that actually takes in water and gets heavier as
you gotta squeeze it out.
You got to squeeze it out every now and then. I mean, I like the realness of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's just, I mean, it's perfect.
Will, what's your favorite frog to buy?
I used to throw the Spros a lot, but I started using the all the Jackal frogs now. They've got
Jackal
a couple of them
frogs.
that are really
Okay, I'll have
good.
to try those out. I've been using a Booyah for a long time, but
Yeah, Booyah makes a good one.
Mine was something
Jackal.
lure.
Okay.
It was something lure real big on it. It says it has the word lure real big on it.
Huh.
It come in a little plastic box.
I don't know.
I can't remember
I'll
what.
have to try those jackals though, man. Okay.
So back it up a little bit. What was the media days like?
Well, they had all of us, like, we had to get up and get our boats out of the boat yards. Everybody had their boats staged in this boat yard and plugged in and stuff, and they had security and everything. Well, we had to take those to some other parking lot, and we had them parked all in like a circle in there. And then they had all the media come in. And I was parked in between Brandon Palaniuk and Carl Jacobson. So, yeah. So, there's Palaniuk, Angler of the Year, won I don't know how many events, and Jacobson, the first Australian to fish the Bassmaster Classic. So I had like all the media people going to those two. So I'm just like sitting there all day rigging rods, rigging baits, and when they're waiting in line, they'd talk to me, and then they'd go over to Palaniuk and Jacobson. So,
Man.
yeah, it was pretty interesting though.
We got
to listen to those guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
So do you use the wacky technique a lot where you put the I know you use the 5-inch Bugsy Baits sick worm.
Yeah. Bugsy's 5-inch sick worm. I've been killing them on that thing this year.
Yeah.
What color?
The
black.
Straight black. Yeah, the straight black one's tough to beat.
Straight black.
Yep. I just gave Dave a whole bag. I was like, here, man, try these out. Bugsy gave them to me last time we was at one of them shows. My son, I got to give props to my son and his little buddy. They go to these shows with us, and they'll help Bugsy and them get all their stuff out of the car and stuff like that, and just help them set up and then help them tear down. And he's like, pick you some baits out, and I'm like, give me those black worms.
Yeah,
because I love black.
Yeah. Straight black's underrated. Like it works in clear water. It works in dirty water.
Clear water.
It's just
I don't
sure
know.
does.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right.
I've heard a lot of professional.
Clear and dirty water.
I usually use it in dirty.
What do you enjoy fishing for? Clear or brackish or?
Probably clear water.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably clear water. Just because we have more clear water here, so I'm more used to it. But, yeah, clear water probably.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it too clear, but I like it, just a little on the murky side. Like Anderson Lake, that's perfect for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
but Ridenhour is like a muddy, like chocolate milk mess. I can't stand that place, man.
But I've caught some big bass out there. I really have.
I've never caught. I'll take it back. I caught one bass and like 6 trout out of there. That's it.
Yeah, I've caught some good bass out there, and it's not being as muddy as it normally is. Like I've never seen it good, but it's been on like the watered down chocolate milk side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you my favorite lake is that one out Gay Road. Gosh, what's that called? It's in Ripley.
Woodrum's?
No, it's not Woodrum's. Oh, dang, man! Why am I blanking on all this stuff?
And
Will's got me crazy talking about all this fishing gear. Right.
It starts with an O, doesn't it?
No, it's not O'Brien. O'Brien is Stats Mill.
Okay.
I'll think of it. Man, I'm terrible at this.
There again,
It's a newer lake. Like when I was in middle school, I think, is when they dammed it up.
Okay.
Like when they were building the dam and everything. So it's not that old of a lake, and I believe that it is still catch and release because they're still allowing that fish. They're still allowing the growth of the fish.
Does it
and
start
stuff.
with an R?
Does not start with an R. Elk Run. It's called Elk Run Lake.
Elk Run. I've been there. Yes.
Okay, Elk Run. Yeah, you can still see the trees sticking up in the middle of the lake.
That's why I was thinking of R. I was thinking of something Run. I knew. Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, man, there's some monsters in there.
Yeah. And you can put boats on there up to, 9.9 or something like that?
Yeah, it's 9.9 is the horsepower.
Do you fish a lot of lakes like that, Will, where you use smaller motors, or is it just all big?
That's all because I don't have a boat to put on it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
A 9.9.
I got you. Man, we were out at the Upper Mud Fork. Have you ever heard of Upper Mud Fork Lake?
I've heard of it.
Man, it reminds me so much of Summersville because the water, the color and stuff. I mean, it's clear as
It's
can be.
1/20th the size, though.
Yeah, but it's that it's got rock wall sides on some areas.
It does. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the other side.
Yeah.
That's just a bunch of weeds and grass and cattails and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there was this one guy. He was out there, and you can't use nothing but a 9.9, and you can't even put a boat in there if it's got a bigger motor on it. They won't let you do it.
Yeah.
He had a freaking 225.
Oh my gosh.
Trolling that thing back in. The game warden lit him up, son.
Oh, I guarantee it.
How long ago was that?
Dan's like, maybe that was me.
This has probably been at least 3 or 4 years ago.
Because I'm wanting to say that they changed the laws on that. All the 9.9 boat or lakes, you can idle a big motor. Can't run over. But you know how it used to be, you couldn't have a big motor even in the water.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure now you can idle the big motors, but it has to be at an idle.
Okay, see, because they won't. At this time, he told him, he said, you can't even have that prop down in the water.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that's why I was wondering how long ago that was, because I know there have been some laws that have changed here recently.
Yeah, I'd say it's at least been 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the fine was for that, but I was like, man, that's not going to be cheap.
$155.
Yeah. Wow. I wouldn't want to pay that.
No.
Especially if you had a bad fishing day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
One thing I'd like to do, I'd like to fish Okeechobee before I go, before I go to be with Jesus. Have you ever fished that, Will? Down there?
I've never been to Florida. I'm going first time this year to Harris Chain. Never fished
that's
Florida.
cool.
Man.
Yeah, you're going to have to let us know how it goes.
Yeah. We used to have a pro staffer that was a professional bull rider from down there named Jason Hunter. And he started in some amateur bass fishing tournaments down there, man. And he fished on some amazing lakes. And I don't know what all they was, but he was getting really good. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened that he got out of it, but he used to videotape himself and stuff like that with the GoPro. And do you do a lot of that? Do you videotape with your GoPro and stuff?
No, I need to. I've got a camera. I just haven't really used it. So
Do you need
I need to get into it because that's the way everything's going now.
You need a video guy? I'm available on weekends.
Mike's not going to sleep the night before. Let me just say that, Will.
Yeah. I would be like that kid. I'd be like that kid being the marshal.
Yeah.
You'd be like, Mike, net. Mike, net.
He's going to fix still.
Yeah.
Net, Mike, net. Mike's asleep.
Mike's asleep over there with the camera in his hand.
Oh, man. That's great.
Gosh. All right, Will. Well, we've had a good time tonight, man. I hope you've had a good time.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on.
I hate that we've...
sponsors before you get them out of here.
Well, yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of your sponsors. Hit on some of them sponsors before we get off here.
All right. We got the Dieffenbauch and Ritz Engineering. If you got any engineering, survey, or environmental work that needs done, get on dnhengineers.com.
Got to keep the family in it.
That's right. They keep me working and they keep me fishing.
I hear you.
Dobbins Rods, Bugsy Spates USA, Wet Fin Fishing, their performance apparel out of Pittsburgh. Thunderbolt Electronics, they've helped me out this year. I needed a trolling motor and they hooked me up.
Awesome.
That's another local company. So keep the West Virginia boys in business.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Skeeter, Yamaha, Power Pole. That's about all I got.
Good deal.
Nice.
Well, that was one of our main focuses tonight, is to get your name out there. Obviously to tell everybody here in West Virginia what we have in West Virginia. We've got some amazing talent in West Virginia. It's just not, put out there for people to know about it. If you're not in the outdoor world and you're not a hunterman, or you're not a hunter, you're not a fisherman, you don't hear about these things. So we want to put it out there we've got a lot of people that listen to the podcast that probably don't even hunt and fish, that just like to hear us talk. So, maybe they'll start watching fishing now because they know you're from West Virginia. So it was a great time having you tonight, buddy.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. We appreciate you again.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, guys, be sure and check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. We're on about 18 other different outlets. We tried to do a Facebook Live tonight. We've had more technical difficulties tonight than we've had since the beginning of our start, but we'll get back on her next week. So this episode will air next week, and we'll have a new guest. So appreciate you listening this evening. Dan, as always, thank you for coming on, co-host.
Oh, yeah. It's
Dave,
a pleasure.
Thanks
We
for
enjoy
your help tonight on the production.
Man. Great to be on here with you, Mike.
Yep, we just always have a good time. So thanks for listening, everybody. Have a great night. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Top Down Construction, a local construction company located in Hurricane, West Virginia. A veteran-owned and operated construction company ready to tackle any project. With over 25 years of experience in the industry, they offer a wealth of knowledge from design to completion. Contact them today at 304-415-2203 and let them make your dream a reality. You can also check them out on their Facebook page or call them today at 304-415-2203.